I turn on my mic. Welcome, everybody. You've made it to March 3rd. We're in March. That's bananas. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Brandon Whedon. Present. Councilmember Angela Jefferson.
Present.
Councilmember Joan Cathy. And she is excused tonight.
Thank you.
Councilmember Eileen Swarthout.
Present.
Councilmember Megan Sullivan.
Present.
Councilmember Peter Agabe.
Present.
Councilmember Kelly Von Holtz.
Present.
Mayor Lietta Dahlhoff.
I am also here. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, everyone. We have some special items tonight. One is a proclamation of American Red Cross Month. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, would you like a hard copy or would you like to read? You have options.
Whereas for more than a century, the American Red Cross has been at the forefront of helping Americans prevent, prepare for, and respond to large and small disasters. Families and communities depend on the Red Cross in times of need, and the Red Cross depends on American people to sustain the foundation. And whereas in Tumwater, the American Red Cross works tirelessly through its volunteers to support us when disaster strikes, when someone needs life-saving blood, or the comfort of a helping hand. It provides 24-hour support to members of the military and veterans and their families, and provides training in CPR, aquatics, safety, and first aid. And whereas the Red Cross makes Tumwater safer and stronger, and Tumwater formally recognizes the American Red Cross and its critical humanitarian role in our community, and honors the South Puget Sound and Olympic chapter contributions to make this city a better place. Now, therefore, Lietta Dahlhoff, Mayor of the City of Tumwater, does hereby proclaim March 2026 American Red Cross Month.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. We have Shannon Glenn, the Executive Director with American Red Cross South Puget Sound and the Olympics chapter with us tonight. Shannon, do you have a few words for us?
Thank you, council members. For those of you that I have not met, my name is Shannon Glenn. I'm the executive director for our chapter here serving an 8-county service area, of which Thurston County is included. Thank you so much for your time this evening and your support of the American Red Cross. We've been in this country, this community for a whole lot of years. I did read ahead on the agenda, and it is Women's History Month, and we were founded by Clara Barton, who is an incredible woman, led by a lot of incredible women. So looking forward to hearing that next proclamation as well. The American Red Cross, particularly in Thurston County, is always there. When I speak with children's groups, elementary schools, what I say is if you see this symbol, you can find help. If you're in an armed conflict, you can find help, whatever side of it you're on. If you're in need of blood services, there's someone there that has blood. Speaking of that, you have a blood drive coming up here on March 25th in somewhere in this building. I'm a little unsure of where exactly. And there are still some appointments available if anybody's interested. But we've had a long history here. If there's a home fire in your community, we'll show up if someone needs assistance. And we're so grateful to keep this partnership going. So thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you, Shannon. I will open up everyone's mic if you have any comments, questions for Shannon. She also takes compliments. Councilmember Swarthout.
I was thinking about CPR classes. We had recently honored some of our city employees who perform CPR on a local citizen. And so I'm thinking that probably would behoove us to sharpen our skills as far as CPR goes. And I understand that we can reach out to the Red Cross, schedule some classes.
And we
do
do
a
life-saving awards too, if there's additional recognition needed.
Can we do that in a work session? Shannon, would you be open to that?
Of course.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Paul?
Good idea.
Thank you. Angela, Councilmember Jefferson.
Yes, I'm familiar with your work with the military for notifications and such. Where are you located at in the community, your headquarters?
So our headquarters office for the chapter is in University Place. I live over in Olympia, so I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. But we have offices throughout the chapter in places like Chehalis, Bremerton, on JBLM, on the base in Bremerton as well.
And you said 5 different cities or 5 different counties?
This chapter supports 8 counties.
8 counties?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. No one else? Your mics are hot. Councilmember Sullivan.
Just wanted to say thank you, Shannon, and thank you for all the volunteers behind you and beside you, and for everyone who came before you. We're just grateful.
Shannon, would you be open for a photo op with council
Of course.
in the front?
Yes.
Thank you. We could all go down and get a photo. Thank you, Shannon. Next, we have Women's History Month, and that will be read by Councilmember Sullivan.
Thank you, Mayor. Whereas the City of Tumwater strives to promote a strong and inclusive community that recognizes and celebrates efforts to bring people together for a greater good and highlight the many threads in our fabric that make it strong and whole. And whereas International Women's Day is celebrated globally on March 8th by those who believe in gender equality and who seek to improve the lives of all women through cultural, legal, economic, and social change. And whereas in 1987 and each year since, Congress has passed a resolution recognizing March as National Women's History Month. Women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of our nation and have served our country courageously in the military. And whereas women are critical to the economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of life, by constituting a significant portion of the labor force working inside and outside of the home. Women have served as leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement, not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist, emancipation, industrial labor, civil rights, and peace movements, which create a more fair and just society for all. And whereas the National Women's History Alliance designates a yearly theme for Women's History Month. The 2026 theme is Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future. This theme honors women who are rebuilding systems for long-term sustainability across environmental, economic, and social justice areas. It emphasizes creating a future rooted in equity and resilience. Now, therefore, Mayor Lietta Dahlhoff of the City of Tumwater does proclaim March 2026 Women's History Month.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. I see Shelley Willis. Do you want to come up and say a few words?
Thank you, Mayor Dahlhoff and council members. On behalf of the Zonta Club of Olympia, I appreciate and support your proclamation for March as being Women's History Month. Your leadership affirms that the Tumwater Council recognizes the impact of women, past and present, whose courage, service, and determination have strengthened the city, our state, and our nation. Proclamations like yours do more than honor history, they empower and shape our future. This proclamation reminds us that women across generations have stepped forward to improve education, expand economic opportunity, protect human rights, equality, and build healthier communities. Women continue to lead with abundant and diverse strategies, both visible and quiet, in an effort to ensure that the systems we pass on to our children are just, are more resilient, and are more compassionate than those we inherited. Through Zonta International and our work with the United Nations, Zonta advances the rights of women and girls around the world. Because when women lead, communities thrive. Here in Washington, we advocate, educate, and invest so that every girl grows up knowing her voice matters and her leadership is needed. Your proclamation reinforces that message, and it tells every woman and girl in Tumwater that her contributions are seen and her future is worth building. Tonight, I'm honored to present each of you with a yellow rose, the symbol of Zonta, and it represents hope, friendship, and the enduring strength of women standing together. May it remind us that sustainable change begins with the recognition, grows through partnership, and flourishes when we lead together. Thank you for your vision and your commitment to shaping a stronger future for all of us.
Thank you, Shelley. Your mics are on if you'd like to comment, question, compliment.
I can start. Thank you, Shelley. Those aren't just words, because today, as women in leadership, it's not easy. So I like when you say that quiet part. You don't always have to be loud and out front. You can lead from the rear also. So thank you for that. Thank you for your presence.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Councilmember Sullivan.
Thank you, Shelley, for joining us and for your words and for the opportunity to present you with this proclamation. We appreciate you and everyone that supports Zonta.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you being here as well. And I'm just reminded to just try not to be a Debbie Downer, but there's just so many things lately that just have brought it seems like we're going the wrong direction, but I'm reminded that we need to celebrate our successes and celebrate the women and the helpers in our community, and celebrate the women in our room, and celebrate our staff, and celebrate the women and our police officers. And I celebrate the people that I serve with, and the women that serve in our legislature, and finding the helpers. And so to quote Mr. Rogers, and so I appreciate your service and and what you do with FES, and your service to our community as well. And Dr. Jackson, we've had the opportunity to have her here, and we're just really blessed. And so thank you for your service.
Thank you, Councilmember Swarthout. Councilmember Whedon.
I'd just like to thank you for being here today. As a parent to a, now what is she, 9-year-old little girl, and coaching our 10U team coming up, it's these types of events that really need to be brought out, and the fact that women have had to fight and continue to fight. And like Eileen said, that it feels like we're taking steps back. So with you being here with this proclamation, it's sending the message that we here in Tumwater appreciate everything that the women are doing to make our lives better, past and present. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Thank you. Thank you, Shelley. It's so nice to have you here tonight. And yeah, there's a lot going on right now, but I am the mother of a very strong 26-year-old young woman, and she speaks out in a way that I would have never at that age I didn't find my voice till I was 40. So there's hope, and the strong women that have come before us and the strong women that we are, it's making its way to our future leaders. And so thank you for being here tonight for the proclamation, and thank you to all the women who have led. I see former Mayor Debbie Sullivan, our current mayor. Like, we are surrounded by strong leaders that are women, and that is great to know.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
I'd like to say something.
Your mic is on.
So It is, it is good, a good thing to celebrate our Women History Month. America is the only civilized country that has not nominated a woman, well, elected a woman president. So while we're here tooting our horn about Women History Month, we should also look back in retrospect and see where we are and how we got to where we are today. People are saying times are hard, things are not working. It seems to me that last November we had the choice, right? So please, I am glad it's Women History Month. At the same time, too, we should keep an eye on history. Our history tends to put women forward, but not necessarily giving them the tools to get the job done. On that note, thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember Gubby. I just want to summarize, this is really fitting. You get so caught up in your days and remembering that March is Women's History Month, and some days feel less like celebration and more like survival. And I think of Mayor Sullivan, our first female mayor, right? That it took 150 years to get a female mayor. Thank you, Mayor Sullivan, for being here tonight. There's a quiet pressure that women carry. We just can't be good. We have to be exceptional. We can't be mediocre. We can't have a day off. When things are hard, we still have to show up, and we can't be almost. The margin for error feels razor thin these days, while double standards still shape how we're judged, how we're heard, and how we're valued. And I just want to say the quiet part out loud. We're still critiqued for how we look before we are evaluated for how we perform. We are trolled for our appearance. We are picked apart for our tone. We are dismissed for things that have nothing to do with our work. Our competence becomes secondary to commentary. And when it feels like we're moving backward, that weight just gets heavier. And so the vulnerable truth for me is I get tired, I get really tired, and I get pissed off. And we continue to push forward. Because progress has never been linear, because women before us kept going when the standards were unfair and the scrutiny was relentless. Because even when the bar is higher and the noise is louder, we are still here. We are building, we are leading, we are pushing, we are creating. And so this month and every day for us, we keep going, not because it's easy, but because we deserve a world where we're judged on our performance, not on our appearance, and where being human is not a liability. So that's my mayor's report early in this section. So thank you, Shelley. Would you be open to a photo with council?
I would. Can we invite Shannon to join us?
Oh, yes. Jenny Foglia-Jones, would you also like to be in the photo? Come on, Jenny, come on. All right, photo time. Melody, it is now time for public comment.
Okay, so at this time, we will receive public comments. You may comment on items relating to city business not scheduled for public hearing. When I call your name, please come up to the podium, speak into the microphone, and state your name and contact information for the record. Each individual will be limited to 1 3-minute period to make their remarks, regardless of the number of topics they wish to address. Speakers may not comment upon, promote, advocate for, oppose, or speak against a pending initiative, ballot measure, or candidate. All comments shall be directed towards the council as a whole, not to individual council members, and not to members of the audience. Please refrain from disruptive behavior such as booing, hissing, audible comments, cheering, or clapping. And currently we have no one online, so we are going to start with Trista Mason, followed by Debbie Sullivan.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. My name is Trista Mason, and my address is P.O. Box 145. And I'm here tonight because I wanted to share some concerns and celebrate our student resource officers. On February 15th, the Tumwater Police Department put a great celebration of our SROs as it was talked about how much they impact our kids and how positive that is. And so I am a parent in the Tumwater School District. I have a middle schooler at Bush Middle School. And then I also have a daughter who goes to school just around the corner from here. And she is non-speaking and she may never speak. And so I'm here to make sure that her voice is heard in the best way I know how tonight. So on February 15th, a Facebook post was posted about our great SROs. And then on the 18th, 72 hours later, my phone blew up as I picked my child up from school because parents are asking me, why is the student resource officer being removed from Bush Middle School? And my kid gets in the car and I said, hey, what happened today? Oh, Officer Bowling said goodbye. And so, no notice, nothing from the school district, nothing from the police department. And that's super concerning because I know members of council have expressed opposition to our student resource officer program. And so when no information is given and then suddenly they're pulled as a parent, there's a problem. And I know that in December, it was stated by the city that the police department was going in a new direction and then reiterated to the media that there was a new vision for the police department. However, no information has been forthcoming. Right. And so with the removal of the student resource officer, with that information, the community is concerned. And there are many members that will step up and support our student resource officers if that's needed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Trista.
And now we'll have Debbie Sullivan.
Mayor Sullivan.
Former. Thank you. My address is P.O. Box 14320, Tumwater, and I'm here also for the same reason. So my phone kind of blew up also when the notification came up, and the only notification I saw was a Facebook post on the school district and nothing from the city. The problem is that we had just signed a school resource officer interlocal agreement with the school district, and it wasn't even 70 days into the new contract. I understand staffing issues. However, we need to plan better. These staffing issues were not unknown before that contract was signed. And so that is disheartening for me. So there is a huge amount of work that school resource officers do. And so I'm still not clear because my understanding, according to the agreement, was one of the schools, the one school resource officer was supposed to do Tumwater High School and Bush Middle School. The other one does Black Hills High School and Tumwater Middle School, and then cover all the elementary schools as needed. I don't even know where that's at. I have grandchildren in the school district, fortunate, and they are in Tumwater High School. So that school was impacted by the school resource officers not being there. So how do I answer my granddaughters? I don't know. So I just think that there needs to be more transparency. I'm just not happy with some of the adjustments with the police department has been made. And I think that there just needs to be more planning. We had a very long strategic plan. The police department put that into place.
And so we know what the staffing levels should be. We know what the future is. And you don't get police officers on board overnight. It takes a long, long time between going to the academy and getting through field training officers. I don't know how fast or how we would even recruit laterals. So the city needs to be much more transparent on things that impact the students and our community that much. Thank you.
Valid. Thank you, Mayor Sullivan. Do you two have capacity to get an update from Chief Quiles on his chief's message on the website? Would you be interested in that, or would you like a follow-up?
I think that letting all of the public know, every school district, so somehow the city getting that information out.
I love that. Thank you, Mayor Sullivan.
Specifically, that's fine for me. I probably am in the know way more than most people are. So I think getting those people who do not know the information would be
Thank you for
appreciated.
sharing your concerns. Valid. We're requesting a joint meeting with the school district April 14th or the 28th. We're waiting to hear back. We have the Chief's Corner message, and Tumwater on Tap, there's going to be another message. So noted, more transparency, more clarity. You have concerns, valid. We are committed to the SRO program. We are not removing SROs. It's temporary, valid, noted. Administrator Simmons, did you want to say anything?
Hello, thank you. For the record, Paul Simmons, City Administrator. And I'll just add that that when Chief Quiles started, we were vacant several positions. And then we had a couple unexpected retirements matched with a couple officers that needed to move to light duty for various reasons. And so this wasn't a problem that just started in the last month. This has been an issue where we've been short-staffed for a while, and we are working as vigilantly as possible to restore the staffing so that we can restore that officer. It's a high priority. We did update the chief's message, I believe, more than a week ago, and we're also working on an updated article in the Tumwater on Tap, as the mayor said, and we'll continue to push messages out as well. We also did meet with the superintendent prior, and then we've also communicated directly. The mayor's communicated directly with the school board members as well. So we've been trying to stay to get as much communication out there as possible so that folks understand where we're at and where we're going. But we are deeply committed to the SRO program. Our top priority is to restore it as soon as possible, and we will be moving in that direction once we have the resources to be able to do so.
I take ownership for the delay, and it's not going to happen again. So thank you.
Okay, now we'll have a Linda Burt.
Well, I've been here several times and I'm back. My name is Linda Burt. I live at 3244 66th Avenue Southwest, corner of Kitsap and 66. And we are in a mobile home park that's trying to get rid of us. People are always saying we need affordable housing. And the word affordable is what? We have one at the very top of this country that doesn't know what affordable means. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. We older seniors can't afford what's out there. Can't. And people take that in, the information in, and they say, yeah, we should do something about that. Well, I'm here to do something about that, which last month I said, would you appoint me? Why I ask that is I am obviously an individual and you really need a group behind you. But I'm working by myself. I am a forward-thinking lady and I am a leader and I'm going to do this. What I'm asking is that I'm going to write billionaires like Melinda Gates French and Bezos' former wife. They're billionaires and they seem to be open to this. Also, we have 168,000 millionaires in this state. Why aren't we asking them? Why aren't we asking them to help us? Help us. Have you guys said, how are we going to construct this? How are we going to pay for it? Or is it still laying on somebody's back corner going, yeah, we'll get to that. Well, we'll die seriously before you get to that. because 7 years ago, I showed up for Women's Day with a long 1898 black dress. Did any of you remember me? Probably not. I've been here before and I'm tired of waiting, so I'm going to do it myself. I have a plan that we're going to have the millionaires or whomever donate a tract of land. On the land, we're going to build round houses. These are going to be whimsical, very Disney-like. In the middle will be landscaped, a water feature, trees, obviously. A little town, we need people to come in to help pay for our infrastructure. So you need people coming in and visiting. And when do you think you can back me on this? Because I'm running out of time.
Linda, have you circled back with Housing Authority of Thurston County and Habitat?
So the one thing that you shared with me, I went to, and they want a mortgage. I mean, we don't have any money. I've pointed out to you guys before that I make $1,330 a month. Divide that by 3, third of my income, I can pay 400 and something, right? It's not there. And nobody seems to say, I know how we could do that, except I do know how we could do that, and I can do it. I have a master's in education, and I can do this.
Linda, I will circle back with you this week.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm moving on with mailing all this out in the meantime.
You do that, I will circle back, and then we'll figure out what we talked about with the Housing Authority of Thurston County. Their housing, different from Habitat. I'll circle back with you.
Right, except you're circling back to what is or what has been.
And I will make time for what you want to do. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to do it my way.
That is not a surprise to me, Linda Burt. I am on it. Can you make a note for me to circle back with Linda? Thank you, Paul.
And now I would invite anybody else that would like to speak to public comment that didn't sign up. Okay, and we have no one online, so that would end public comment.
Thank you, Melody. Moving on to consent calendar. Any items need to be pulled? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion. Got a motion from Councilmember Jefferson, a second from Councilmember Swarthout. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Have you ever had a day where you swear you're using technology that had a touch screen and then you try and do it again and this is not touch screen? That's what I just did. Okay. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are on item number 7, council considerations. Kelly Adams, would you like me to read this title or would you like to read the title? Do you want me to read it and then you also read it? What is your preference, Kelly? Because this title is amazing. It's
I'm
amazing.
impressed with myself as a bureaucrat that I have 30 words in this title. So this is the Regional Memorandum of Understanding with cities of Olympia, Lacey, Thurston County, and Port of Olympia for planning and managing the Olympia-Lacey fan zone for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you read that again?
I could.
I'm joking. Please proceed, Kelly Adams. What do you got for us?
All right, I have a presentation.
Look at that
Okay.
title. Look at that.
So in plain talk, this is an agreement that we are going to talk about for the next steps in working with our region to plan and manage the FIFA fan zone events. I am your Assistant City Administrator, Kelly Adams, and I promise I will never use a title like that again. And so first, I want to introduce some guests that are going to speak to you in a few moments. And these are our friends from the Chamber of Commerce, the Thurston Chamber of Commerce. And we have CEO and President David Schaffert and Jenny Foglia Jones, who is a consultant to the Chamber, but we think of her as the project manager for this effort. And Jenny and David have been wonderful resources in understanding how the different players and the different parts are coming together. And I want to say at the start, because I think there's been a little bit of misinformation, the cities, the county, and the port asked the chamber to help and to be the lead planning entity for this effort. This is not the chamber's idea that they've asked and solicited the cities to participate in. The local governments asked the chamber to help, and they so wonderfully volunteered to pull together this effort. And so because we have new council members and for the benefit of the public, I just want to go through a little bit of the funding history that occurred in 2025. So on September 2nd, City Council had a pretty robust discussion and determined that the best funding for this event, were Tumwater to contribute funding, was lodging tax. And so the council authorized the city administrator to put in an application with our LTAC committee and to put in the original $50,000 request. This was part of a broad regional request. So at the same time that we were talking about this, Lacey, Olympia, Thurston County, and the port were all talking about their contributions. And so on the 29th of September, the Lodging Tax Committee, chaired by Councilmember Eileen Swarthout, came to a recommendation of $7,500. And I wanted to give a little bit of background on how we got there. So there was an application, there was a presentation by city staff, and the way that LTAC recommendations come together, there are 4 committee members, and each committee member makes a recommendation, and then we take the average of those recommendations, and that's the final funding amount that council sees. And so we had 3 commissioners who voted for $0, and our hotelier voted for $30,000. So there's a bit of a background there in different perspectives, which is why it's fantastic to have diverse advisory board members. And so that is how we arrived at $7,500. And on October 21st, the council adopted the LTAC funding recommendation as part of the consent calendar. And so now we're at the next point in the process, which is a memorandum of understanding. And in government speak, this is the agreement before all of the other agreements. So this sets up who are the regional parties and who are the supporting participants. And so for this agreement, we are signing, Lacey, Olympia, Thurston County, and the Port of Olympia are signing. And some of our wonderful supporting participants that are named in the MOU, we have the Thurston Chamber of Commerce as the lead planning entity. We have Intercity Transit, Experience Olympia, and beyond. The VCB is a really important partner in making sure that we are really going after positive marketing and tourism benefits. Thurston EDC, I'm going to talk about them in just a second. They're providing some really essential local business training, and the Olympia Downtown Alliance. And so the purpose, which is very wonderfully couched in the MOU, is to plan, resource, and deliver these events. And really with a focus on showcasing Thurston County as a region, our hospitality, our tourism draw, our culture, and how wonderful and vital our small businesses are, really coming with that identity as a region. And then in the funding commitment, so the MOU clearly outlines roles, responsibilities, the scope of work, what the events look like, contingencies, and we see here the funding committed by ourselves and our sister cities, the county, and the Port of Olympia is their in-kind contribution is the property that the events are going to take place on. And our friends at the chamber will be showing you maps and details and all the fun stuff. One thing that I am really excited to participate in. So I think one question we hear is, how does this benefit Tumwater? And as the person who works with our economic development program, I'm very excited that you don't have to be a vendor at the event to actually participate and benefit from this activity. So on March 18th, the EDC is going to have a local business training where they talk about how you can host a viewing party, and they will help walk you through the regulations and rules from FIFA And also, our staff will be participating to help walk Tumwater businesses through our permitting processes. So this is really a wraparound support for local businesses to participate. And so I am going to invite David and Jenny to come up. And if the clerks don't mind switching out that presentation.
And David, could you also give a shout out to the person who's sitting between you and Jenny Foglia Jones?
Actually, Kelly, you want to do the introduction? He's your right-hand man. Yeah. Yes, we'll take care of that. So, well, good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm David Schaffer, President and CEO of the Thurston County Chamber. And it's really nice to be here this evening. I'm just going to do a little additional information. We'll call it a pre-preamble or a post-preamble. About a year ago, right about now, give or take maybe 15, 30 days, FIFA Seattle, the steering committee for All That Is World Cup for the state in Seattle. It's the nonprofit organization that is coordinating all the activities and events to maximize the World Cup being within our region, reached out throughout the state to a select few communities and asked the question, would you like to host a regional local fan zone? And our community said yes, via Chair Menzer and the county. And so we were off and running. Fast forward maybe 3 months after that, I was invited to have a sit down, and I think it was the mayors and the municipalities in our community, plus senior staff were there. And the conversation revolved around how might we be able to maximize the opportunity of the World Cup, and how might we maximize being connected to the world, which is kind of brilliant of FIFA Seattle for thinking a little bit beyond just Seattle, King County. How do we spread this throughout our state? And so that's what that meeting was about. And one thing that was needed at that meeting was they needed an entity to sign the NDO for FIFA, meaning we got a FIFA playbook. And the FIFA playbook, it's not that glamorous. It's more about you shall not do this. It was what you should not do and cannot do. And so had it in hand. And so we were off and running. Since that time, we've put together, I would say, a pretty good structure that is reflective of our community and the interests. We've worked with the local governments and trying to understand what everyone would like to try to get out of this. But please know that there is a fair amount of, I'll just say, restrictive nature of the effort. The business model is challenging at best. We are in the process of soliciting additional resources and funding to try to make sure that it is as robust event as possible. And I think I will stop with the preamble so you can get into maybe a little bit of the weeds, which will give you a little bit more context and of what's really happening and how, it's going to be an exciting opportunity for our community. And the Chamber is very delighted to give its expertise and infrastructure in support of it. Any questions before I step away?
Well, look at that timing. Councilmember Jefferson has a question.
Yes, David.
Yes, please.
Is this a first for us in the community, like the first big statewide project like this or event like this?
I think it's there's never been a World Cup, so this sort of opportunity to plug into the hundreds of thousands of people that will be coming into our state in a very short period of time. That was one of my big fears, is not having infrastructure set up to help accommodate attracting people down the I-5 corridor, coming into our community and wanting to take advantage of what is the state capital community about, or maybe they head off to the coast. How do we connect? And so, yes, it's the first World Cup. Yes, it's the first time that we've hosted a fan zone. There may have been other really large statewide type activities in our community, but this is the first World Cup.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Councilmember Agabi.
Nice evening.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Do you play soccer or football?
No.
Have you ever played soccer or football?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I played neither.
Neither. Okay.
Yeah.
So for some of us, soccer is a religion.
Mm-hmm.
So my objection was there's this fantasy that we're going to have this event and everybody is going to come here en masse. And that was before ICE decided to turn Minnesota into Belfast. So all those fans that are going to come here, where are they coming from? Are they coming from out of the country or from within the country?
So we'll let Jenny get into some specifics, but the projections is that you're going to have hundreds of thousands of people coming into Washington State, and for that matter, into Vancouver, Canada, and then of course down to LA. So that you may have a West Coast up and down migration, depending on what those visitors are planning to do. There is demographics and profiles of visitors that come to World Cups because they are fanatic about football.
And not Americans, right? They happen to be from South America or Europe, right?
Right. The Americas should be here in force, we would suspect.
Okay.
Yeah. But really, if you wouldn't mind punting over to Jenny, who can maybe fill in a little bit more of those details, especially on the types of visitors that were anticipated by FIFA Seattle and the duration that they stay within a geographic area when they show up.
They're going to need visas, and they're foreigners, and we know what is happening in America. So,
Councilmember Gabi, do you have
a
question, or you want to hold that till you get status?
I'll hold. Yeah, I'll hold.
Thank you, Councilmember Gabi. Perfect.
Anything else? Okay, it's all yours, Jen.
Last time, thank you. You stole it last time. Hi, I'm Jenny Folia Jones. Good evening. As David said, I am planning the event for the World Cup. And I do want to just say that the Olympia Lacey Fan Zone here, this is more than just the activations. We're going to talk about the activations of the actual fan zone, but I'm also going to get into a lot of the business support that we're doing around this effort as well. So it's not all about just the activations. Okay, the middle button, is that the big middle button? All right, there we go. Okay. So just a little bit of an overview about this World Cup. Happy 100 days till kickoff. Today is 100 days. So the tournament is June 11th through July 19th, 2026. The World Cup is the largest sporting event ever staged. This year, we're seeing it expanded. It's an event that happens every 4 years. There are 104 matches, 48 teams. Typically, it's 32. They've increased it to 48 teams. So more teams, more matches, and it's spread over 3 host countries. So you do have Canada, the United States, and Mexico. 16 cities, which you'll see represented on this map, and 50% of the fans that came to the previous World Cup 4 years ago did come from abroad. When I say this is the largest sporting event ever staged, estimated 19 billion plus global viewers, and they're counting viewers multiple times. So if you're watching 2 matches, that's 2 views. 6 million plus ticketed visitors are expected to come into the U.S. for this World Cup, and 750,000 visitors are expected to come into Washington State. I do not have the breakdown on how many of those are international versus U.S. citizens that would be coming into the state. So fan zone locations. So as David mentioned, Seattle is hosting 6 of those 104 matches. So Seattle was selected. First time that Seattle has hosted a World Cup. The last World Cup that was held in the United States was in 1994. And so Seattle, of course, being selected this year. Seattle FIFA, which is that nonprofit that is established to help support the visitation and everything that's going around the World Cup in Seattle, did kind of do something pretty incredible and pretty innovative. Is they went to FIFA and they asked, can we spread the love around Washington State and look to have these activations of these smaller fan zones. FIFA did give the approval for that, and so we are the only state that is doing this. Normally, you'll see a large fan zone that's set up right outside of the hosting stadium, so you will see Seattle Center
will be, you know, that big location for Seattle. And they have some other activations they're doing in Seattle. But for them to go out, they did look at the 9 largest counties within the state, Thurston County being one, and then they went to the largest city population. And they did tell me that Olympia and Lacey's population is so close to each other. That's why they put the 2 city names together and asked Olympia and Lacey to host initially. So that is why the name is Olympia Lacey. It was not a local decision. That was Olympia Lacey, came from Seattle FIFA. That's why you see the other cities on here. They were determined by the largest city within that largest county. And then, like David said, the Olympia Lacey agreed to do this, invited Thurston County came to the table, and then invited Tumwater to the table, and then the Port of Olympia to the table as well. I will say that we have 2 sites in the state also that are hosting teams that will be their home base. So Renton is going to be a home base, and then Gonzaga University is going to be a home base. And we don't know yet what teams are going to be scheduled to stay there, but that will be, you'll start to see them coming in mid-May. Think of it almost like spring training. They do travel with their fan base. Sometimes, depending on what country it is that's coming in to stay here, sometimes they can have a large fan base that's coming into the area even before that June 11th kickoff time. So what is a fan zone? Fan zone is, think of it as a large community festival. Most important thing you need is a giant screen to watch the matches on. So we'll have a giant LED screen. Live entertainment will be happening before and after matches. FIFA in that super top secret playbook has asked the fan zones to really focus on local culture. And so we are working with our local tribes to bring them in to be able to feature on the culture. And you'll see this represented in the food that we're going to be bringing in, as well as some other activations that we'll be doing within the site. So you'll have food vendors. You will have a beer garden there as well, interactive event or activities. So you'll have, for kids and adults alike, you'll have soccer themed activities there. And then of course we'll have our activation for partners. We will, this is a ticketed event. It will be 12 and under is free. It will be general admission $10. And then we will be having VIP tickets as well, which will be, we're still working on what that package looks like. That will be at an elevated expense, but there will be different elements that come along with those tickets. So where is this taking place? It is taking place on the Port of Olympia's North Point. If you're familiar with where the South Sound Block Party is and has taken place, we're utilizing a little bit expanded footprint of what that event does use. Estimated attendance, 2,500 to 5,000 people per match. Of course, this is depending on the match makeup. We still have some unknowns, which I'll go through for you in a moment. And again, we've gone over this, but the Thurston County Chamber is organizing this on behalf of the cities of Olympia, Tumwater, Lacey, Thurston County, and the Port of Olympia. So, a lot going on this here, but I just wanted to show you the 6 matches that are being held in Seattle. And then I wanted to show you, call your attention to the little asterisks that I have there, that these are the matches that we're looking at activating our site for. So Friday, June 19th is a U.S. men's national team versus Australia match. This is a match being held in Seattle. And this is a noon kickoff. We are definitely opening for this, this event. This is also Juneteenth. So we'll be doing some Juneteenth celebrations around that as well. Wednesday, June 24th. This is one of those unknowns. So we know one of the teams, and then at the end of this month, there's still a European tournament that's being played. So there's 4 more teams that will be coming in at the end of this month. We will know who this one is. So it could be Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, Bosnia. We don't know yet, but that's a Seattle match. And so we would open for that. And then if you skip over to the right, Thursday, June 25th, another U.S. men's national team match. Again, an unknown opponent at this point. But this is an LA match. It's not a Seattle match, but it's a U.S. men's national team match. So we did get approval from Seattle to be able to activate for that match as well. And then going back over to Friday, June 26th, This match is the Seattle Pride match. So we'll be working with Olympia Pride to help bring some Pride elements into our event as well. So with that, why did we select these dates? One, funding, right? We were asked to open for all 6 of the Seattle matches. Funding, we just cannot be open for that long of a period of time. Mostly it comes down to the rental expense to have everything there for so long. But we did look at how can we encourage overnight stays and hopefully encourage more overnight stays. And so we know we want to be open for that U.S. men's national team match on the 19th. And then we looked at the block of the 24th, 25th, 26th, 3 days. Hopefully we can encourage some overnight stays to come in for those matches and show another U.S. men's national team game as well. I know this is a little bit maybe difficult to see, but I wanted to show you the map of the Port Peninsula, where the fan zone is going to be located. We are working with Olympia Police Department. They are our lead agency for public safety and Olympia Fire Department. And so they will be doing traffic control at the corner of Market and Marine Drive, where you see a little stop sign at the bottom there. They will be limiting the traffic down to the site. We are partnering with Intercity Transit as our transit partner. They will be increasing routes, and we're working on different lots around town that we'll be asking people to park in and then be bussed in by Intercity Transit direct to the site. And so we will be, of course, open for Swantown Marina tenants. They will still be able to come in as long as they have their parking pass. The boat launch will remain open. So if you're launching your vessel out there, you can still do that. And then Hearth Fire will be open for patrons as well. And we will be able to have someone there monitoring that lot to make sure people aren't using it as a parking spot and then walking over. And so that's kind of what we're going to be doing for managing traffic. This gets you a little bit better view of the layout. And I apologize, my labels are hard to see, but those aren't as important as just the footprint here for you to look at. So you'll see the big boat launch parking, more of an oval kind of shaped lot there. We are going to be taking roughly half of that lot and using it for our setup. We will also have within that section a VIP extra kind of fenced off area for where the VIP section will be. And then the lower lot to the left there is going to be kind of your main entrance in. That'll be a main footprint of the event. And then we'll be taking over the grass section below too and putting some different elements in there. If you're familiar with the topography out there, these lots have a bit of a difference in height. So we will be having an ADA ramp built between the two parking lots there to be able to make sure that we're compliant with ADA to move people from one lot to the next. So you'll see here also the kind of bluish teal line that loops around. This is our bus route that's going to be coming in and going around the building there to the left and then circling back out. You see our bus stop. It will be right at the entrance of the event. A couple other elements. We are working with the EDC for their March 18th event. We are also hosting a business webinar. So ours on the 12th is online. We have a slightly different focus than what the EDC is doing. We'll be going over more elements of the visitor aspect of how to make sure that you're working to kind of pull those visitors into your business. As well as going over the fan zone elements, but also talking about some of the stuff that I'll be talking on the next slide here for, and letting businesses know of other opportunities that we have going on. So that is something you can sign up through the Thurston Chamber right now. Sign up for that, an hour business webinar. This will be a taped webinar and then will be available to be viewed online if you can't make it as well. And it is free. There's also human trafficking prevention. We know that unfortunately with events like this, that type of behavior does increase. And so Seattle FIFA is working with a company called Best out of Seattle. And they've put together training specific for World Cup. It's really focused for your front desk person, your customer service individual, your transit individual, really being able to kind of recognize the signs of human trafficking and then how to report it. And right now they have prepaid for a bunch of seats. And so any business in the state can go access that right now. If you go to seattlefwc26.org, you can go and take that training. And I do just want to acknowledge we have in addition to the jurisdictions, we have some sponsors that are coming in. Airbnb is sponsoring our fan zone activation, as is Intercity Transit. Okay, so some other things that are happening. Starting this Friday, Seattle FIFA has created an app, and this app is called See and Win, and it launches this Friday, and it's going to run from this Friday through July 7th. This is it's a tour, basically. Every fan zone had to create a tour through the city. So it's a walking tour. We have one that stretches from the farmers market down to the state capitol, goes through downtown Olympia. We have a shorter one that goes from like Hunterbur Park to the food truck depot in Lacey. And then we have a couple stops in Tumwater as well. Brewery Park, as well as the Craft District, are on this map. And what it's doing is it's encouraging people to travel around the state starting this Friday and be able to go to take these different tours, and you go to it'll show you on the map a business. You go outside of that business, and once you get within the geo-fenced area, a little ticket counter will pop up for you. You can select your tickets. It'll go into your little counter. Games will unlock for you while you're standing outside of that. And then there's trivia questions that will be about the businesses in that area. It'll be about Washington State. It'll be about the city that you're in. It'll be about World Cup trivia, soccer trivia, that kind of stuff. And the more you play, the more tickets you get. And then and then you go and you can redeem it for World Cup, Seattle World Cup prizes. Our redemption site is at Wembley Soccer Shops, or our local soccer shop, which is between kind of a good middle point between Lacey and Olympia. And that is our redemption site. So you can go turn it in for this cool swag. We did a test run to make sure that all of our geo-fenced areas were not in the middle of the street, right? Sending people in the middle of the street. So we did do a kind of an invite party where you could come play it and test it. And we had a lot of fun. We actually had 67 individuals that showed up to test play with us that day. We're the only fan zone that did that. So because of that, we've been asked to do this special kickoff event for the app. So our team was asked to kind of create a little bit more of excitement around this app for specific days or within the first few weeks. And with that, we've selected Friday, March 26th and Saturday. No, that is wrong. I'm sorry. Friday, March 27th and Saturday, March 28th. I apologize, that error. And we are encouraging people to come play. You'll start to see that promotion next week for that. On those 2 days, if you come play our tours in our city, or in our community, I should say, you then go redeem at Wembley Soccer Shop. You'll be able to redeem for prizes. Maybe some elevated prizes will be given to us. And one lucky individual who plays and redeems on that weekend will be awarded a set of World Cup tickets in Seattle.
Jenny, while you're taking a breath,
Yeah.
would you like us to hold our questions, or would you like to take them throughout? Your choice.
That's fine. I think I'm done.
Oh, well, put that timing. Jenny, Councilmember Jefferson has a question. It was amazing.
Yes, this is,
Angela, I lined you up and everything.
this is on time. Because I was talking with our city administrator about creating a Tumwater First City Passport program, and this sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
So who did you use for the app?
So we didn't
designed
create
in-house?
the app. Seattle FIFA created the app. This is a statewide app that every fan zone has. So they are working with an app developer. I will tell you that we are starting to look at how can we create passports through the cities that are separate, and we've been given the authority to be able to do that by FIFA. So, for instance, already downtown Olympia Downtown Alliance is already thinking of how a passport through downtown can be created. And so definitely willing to talk about how we can create one for Tumwater too. Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, while you're saying that, I'm looking at Ryan Reynolds with Tumwater Chamber. Councilmember Jefferson, you want to circle? Oh,
No, I'm going to brief that, as a matter of fact, during my report.
Great. But like bringing Ryan into that. Okay.
Yes.
More to come. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Councilmember Agabi.
Can you please put back that map that has the matches back on the screen, please?
The matches, yeah,
Yes,
for sure.
please.
And I failed to tell you how long the visitor will stay. I know David kind of teased that. So coming back to that while we're going to that slide, the visitor, the visitor is typically when they come into the state, they will stay for 9 days.
Okay.
And so they won't necessarily be going to a match at all. They just want to get close to it, or they'll be going to one match and then they'll be going and sightseeing. So we're working on how to attract people down to our area for those other 8 days that they have something, to see. Yeah.
So for the match on Friday, June 26th between Egypt and Iran,
Yep.
what is your projected number of attendance here in this area that will come to the fan zone?
Yeah. This is actually a match that I think is going to get a lot of attention. Egypt has a player that is people are excited to be seeing. So I know that this is a game that I think is going to get attention for sure. I will tell you right now that we're working very closely with Seattle FIFA, and we're monitoring the situation for the matchup.
Okay. So I said before, for me, soccer is a religion. That is, for us, soccer is an emotional thing that we attach to. People go to war because of soccer, and that's happened in South America, happened in Africa all the time. So your match between Egypt and Iran, plus or minus fan zone in this area, maybe 20, 30. You might have close to maybe 200, 250 fan zone waterfront in Seattle. You know why? Because both Iran and Egypt don't play in this. This is CONCACAF, right? They don't play in this part of the world. They play on the other part of the world. So the fans are going to come from overseas. And again, my point is stand. Where are they going to get the visas to come down here? That is basic. They can't come here if they can't come here. We have Minnesota.
And I respect your comments on that. I have several friends and relatives from outside of the state who already have tickets to that match, who are planning on traveling here, U.S. citizens that are coming into the state for the match. So I hear you and I understand that. I come from a football family. Football is life in my family. And so I respect the comments and what you're bringing to that. I know that there is excitement. It is the World Cup. The World Cup is coming here. I know individuals who have tickets to every single one of these matches that are up on the board right now.
So, and I want to wrap up. That player from Egypt that you said plays, his name is Mohamed Salah. He plays from Liverpool. So you have players from Liverpool players that will come, and you have players from Egypt and West Africa that will come. They all need visas. That is just basic. They all need visas to come here.
Got it. Understood, Councilmember Gabi. Great points. Thank you so much. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Yeah, I appreciate where Councilmember Agabi is coming from. I also appreciate that this is an opportunity that we need to experience. I don't know if you heard, but the Seattle Seahawks won the Super Bowl, and the Bay Area did something very similar. I didn't get to go because my husband doesn't love me enough to take me to the Super Bowl, but that's another story. But I had many friends who went and were not in Santa Clara, but they were in the Bay Area, where they said we could feel, before the game even started, we could feel the excitement. And they didn't necessarily go to the Super Bowl, but they were part of the fan experience. And that is something that I think we need right now as a community. And so all of the things that are happening are beyond FIFA's control, beyond your control, beyond anything. But we need something to look forward to and something to celebrate. And I'm very excited that we're a part of this. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. Anything else, Councilmember Sullivan?
I had a question. What is the anticipated release timing for the presale of tickets for the fan zone? And what might you guys do if you saw that they were approaching selling out?
Yeah. Well, we can hope that we get to that point, right? We're probably going to be releasing tickets. I would think probably like first week of May is the timeline that we would be looking at for tickets to open up for the zone. And so if we see that we're getting to capacity, I mean, unfortunately, we can only have so many people in that space. So there is a possibility of selling out if we get to that.
Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Councilmember Jefferson, let me get back to you. Let me see if Councilmember Whedon, Councilmember Swarth, do you have anything before I go to Councilmember Jefferson? Wait, do you two have anything before I go to Councilmember Jefferson? And she's already spoke, so I want to make sure you all have. Councilmember
A little
Whedon.
rundown. First of all, thank you for being here. Long time no see. Just so everybody's clear on that one, she actually planned our wedding back in 2008. So I like the clarification of being the 9 days that people are going to be here in our area. I did have concerns about why Tumwater in specific was going to be paying for this. Granted, it was coming from LTAC fees and everything, but it is good to know that people that are going to be coming to these matches and everything are going to be spending more time in the area. So I appreciate that. I don't think I have anything else. I'm excited for it. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Whedon. Councilmember Swarthout.
Good. I love soccer, and I do remember sitting in a bar in
Where's this story going? Councilmember Swarthout.
in Disneyland watching World Cup games when it was, I can't remember, I think it was in the last time it was, but it wasn't in the United States, and it is really exciting. So my kids all played soccer, so I'm a big soccer fan, so I'm excited about it.
Thank you, Councilmember Swarthout. I'm learning a lot. The love runs deep. Wedding planning, bars in Disneyland. We're going to go to Councilmember Jefferson, and I would entertain a motion after your question, Angela.
So they're monitoring and you're monitoring current events. So worst case scenario, do you feel that energy is here, that, we're going to sell out and we're going to have lots of people coming to town and enjoying Tumwater, Lacey, Olympia? Do you feel it?
Yeah, I definitely think the energy is here for sure. And I think that whether you are a, diehard soccer fan or just a David Shaffert, you're going to come to the
Those are the options, Jenny.
and you're going to come to the fan zone and you are going to experience it. It's an experience, right? It is a once in a generation experience to be able to have this here. And I think that that is something that our community is really embracing. A lot of excitement around that. I do feel, are we going to sell out every match? I don't know. And I'm not going to say yes to that. But I definitely know that we have a lot of excitement here. And I forgot to introduce Chad before we move on. So Chad here, sitting in the crowd, the other scarf on, is Chad Carpenter. Chad, some of you may know, but he is helping me with planning for the zone as well.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Jefferson. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz.
Can I just ask, because I've seen on Facebook some confusion about why the cities are investing in this, and LTAC dollars have to be invested in something like this. Like, we couldn't take it and build some affordable housing. I've just seen some. So can I just get a little bit of explanation about how the dollars are supposed to be used?
Yeah. So LTAC funding, marketing and operations for, for instance, booking talent for the entertainment, that type of stuff. So LTAC dollars are used to market, to get heads in beds. And so you're going to see a greater reach. The nice thing about the map of the zones is that we actually have the ability to market to a really big area, because south and over to the coast, we have a really big market area that the other zones are sitting next to each other. You know, like we have a big footprint that we can go market, even all the way down to Portland for Washington visitors as well, and then beyond. And that's where Experience Olympia and Beyond is coming in, because they are taking care of doing a lot of that visitor marketing for us too. And so we're working with them to help get them involved with our marketing to be able to market to outside of Washington state and internationally.
I see Kelly just standing there. Do you have more slides, Kelly, or? Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. Any additional questions?
Appreciating moving it out of Lake Fair and doing it in June. So that makes so much more sense. So thank you.
Yeah, and we had the ability to, if we could afford to be open for the finals, but that's Lake Fair weekend too. And so we know the strain that would put on the community.
It's good.
Thank you. Melody has put up a slide based on Kelly Adams' request. Thank you so much. Look at that teamwork. I would entertain a motion.
I move we authorize the mayor to sign the MOU with the City of Olympia, City of Lacey, Thurston County, and Port of Olympia to plan, resource, and deliver a 2026 FIFA World Cup fan zone event.
And that second?
Got a motion from Councilmember Sullivan, a second from Councilmember Jefferson. Before we have discussion, how many words are in this recommendation, Kelly Adams?
Less than 30.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on what you heard about and what we are asking for tonight of council? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I lied. There's more than 30.
38.
It does make a difference. Thank you, Kelly Adams. I appreciate that. Thank you, all of you, for coming. If you want to casually leave right now, you can, and not listen to our reports. We'll continue doing the people's work while you go home and rest. Thank you so much, David, Chad, and Jenny, and Shannon. Thank you so much. We'll all watch you leave. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are now to the mayor, city administrator's report. I'm going to go first while Paul makes his way up. Oh, you want to do it there? You want to stretch? You want to do it? Oh, you want to sit? I'm not going to judge out loud. My report is the budget committee met, and I have 3 highlights for you. One is that general fund is tracking steady. Revenues and expenditures remain aligned with our adopted budget. Savings are materializing, and fund balance use is on plan. 2, sales tax are holding with eyes on the economy. Sales tax remains stable, inflation is cooling, and unemployment is low, but national and global risks remain, and we're monitoring. 3, utilities and enterprise funds are stable. Water, sewer, stormwater, and golf operations continue to track as expected, supporting long-term infrastructure sustainability. That is my budget summary. We'll do this monthly. I will give you the highlights and know that anytime in between, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, we are always available to answer that. With that, Administrator Simmons.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Please judge away. Quite comfortable here. I got loud, sorry. To add on to your budget comments, we will continue to dive into the budget this Saturday in person at our city council retreat. And that will be at the Parks and Recreation office starting at 9:30. We're working on finalizing the agenda. We'll get it out to council members as soon as it's ready. And it's very close. We're in kind of the final stages of that now. I just wanted to acknowledge, we've been in a state of transition. We have new leadership, we have new council members, we have new staff. And the last few months have been hectic as we've all been getting settled, learning our roles, and getting our bearings underneath us. So I just wanted to say that this retreat will be really critical to set the stage for how we move forward together as a group. So we hope that you're able to be there. Again, this is in person, and that'll be this Saturday. The budget will also be a portion at the back half of the retreat. Troy will give an in-depth presentation on the budget, and then also we're starting our biannual budget process for the 27-28 year, and to kick that off on March 24th, At the work session, we'll also have a 10-year forecast presented by Troy as well. So lots of budget this year. Budget. Brace yourselves. The other item that I wanted to cover real quick is, as you may have seen, we've been receiving a few emails about the Evergreen Pool and the college's decision to close the pool. As a former water polo player and captain of my high school swim team, this deeply saddens me. But I also know that we are in challenging times for our universities and college institutions, and that they're having to make very hard decisions in order to sustain themselves. In the short term, I did reach out to the superintendent, and they are working to make sure that they have a plan B and that there's places for their swim teams. He didn't have a firm plan yet, but he did assure me it's something that they're currently working on. So as we learn more about that, I'll be happy to share, or perhaps we can also revisit it when we have our shared joint meeting with the school board in April. Long term, the city of Tumwater participated with the city of Olympia, city of Lacey, the 3 school districts, the Evergreen State College, the YMCA, and several regional stakeholders on a regional aquatics feasibility study. This work happened in 2021 and 2022. That work really demonstrated that there is a need for a public swimming facility in this area. It also demonstrated that if we can work collectively regionally, we'll be much stronger as a group. One of the mechanisms in order to fund this feasibility study is a public facilities district, and there's legislation that's being considered by the state right now. And if it's approved, and passed into law, that gives us an opportunity to work with our partners regionally. So long term, there has been some work, and there's some ongoing work to look at how can we build a public swimming facility with regional partners. Short term, we're working with the school district to make sure needs are met, but just wanted to mention and highlight it since we're receiving some incoming, and we'll be responding to folks as we hear from them. But if you have questions or want to talk further, I was involved in the regional aquatics facility study in previous roles and would be happy to talk with any of you about some of that work. And I'll wrap up there. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are going to start.
Well, the Valley is, the indoor pool is non-Olympic, is not regulation size, right? It's not competition size for the Valley, for the kids to use the Valley pool.
The Valley is one of the options that I believe the school district is looking into. So that's one of the options, yes.
Let's continue with Councilmember Swarthout with your council member reports. That's smoothless. I mean, smooth, not smoothless.
Okay, so on February 3rd, I chaired the Thurston Climate Mitigation Collaborative Executive Committee meeting. Oh, wow, right? So our own Alyssa Jones-Woods presented the 2024 TCMC Progress Report. It's very beautiful. It's very much work of art. They won't be doing this every year because it takes a whole year to put this report together. And she was finding out that not everybody reads it. So, and she was doing it, I know, ouch, but it's, but it's still available. You can look at her work. It's on the Thurston Climate Mitigation website under reports and data. They've done it for the last 4 years, and so their work is there. But there is a lot of other information there, as well as like our regional initiatives and the things that we've been discussing. If you want to learn more about the home energy score and anything like the climate initiatives and even like our climate plans that we did, all the information is there. Even the model ordinance is on that website as well. And then the second item we discussed was we had a briefing on the jurisdictions on our the shared expenses. It's on we share the expenses as far as our regional climate initiatives. We do the gas inventory. We do we have an administrative company or a gal that does the administrative portion for us. And so we pay, as the 4 jurisdictions, we share those costs. But this year we did a new interlocal agreement, and I believe we all signed on that one. After Olympia had some, with their bubbles with the budget, and also with the county having problems with their budget, they wrote it in there that should any party have to opt out or not be able to participate, we made some concessions in there in the plan for that. So anyway, but we do our portion of the plan is 90,000, which we budgeted for, and that includes the home energy score as well that Alyssa talked to us on last week. So, and then I did do the budget and finance, and general government will be meeting on March 11th at 11 a.m. And we're discussing ordinance number 02026-001, 93rd Avenue and Case Road annexation. And we'll be talking also about changing the schedule yet once again to the third Wednesday of the month to accommodate Council Member Kathy.
You're showing how we adapt and we're flexible. So thank you so much, Councilmember Swarthout.
You're very welcome.
Councilmember Sullivan, what is good and what do your seatmates need to know?
Since our last update, I attended the Regional Housing Committee and also EDC. RHC has been working on a work plan and some budget transparency and some contingency planning so that we can keep moving forward and sustain some operations that provide regional homeless response services, housing. EDC did talk about a number of things at their meeting. They elected Rusa Cassell to fill a vacancy with the Artisans Group. She will serve until 2027. There is one open seat on EDC board. We had a guest presentation from Ecos, which is a company based out in Lacey that manufactures earth-friendly products, and there's an opportunity to tour the facility. They're LEED certified, which is pretty neat. So I'm going to try to attend a tour in the month to come. There was a presentation by Port of Olympia about development, seeking investors who are interested in developing a portion of Swantown Marina area. In the fan zone map, it would be the lower right, so this side of the boat area. But that was enlightening to hear how the port is navigating that and what might be possible for continued development of what is a brownfield there. There was a conversation about Tumwater Brewery redevelopment. I see Kelly is still here, so maybe I'll leave that to her if she has anything she wants to say. Just to say that there's long-term processes of how we can work with the EDC as the city and other partners to keep moving forward on plans to redevelop the brewery in alignment with the community's vision, and more to come on that. And I think those are the key updates that I have from EDC. I'm grateful to Brittany, who is a member of the staff who's helping me get meetings set up with departments so that I can learn more about how I can be a good resource and partner to each department and hear challenges and opportunities moving forward. So that's my update.
I dig that. Thank you, Councilmember Sullivan. Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz, can your title be any longer? And what is good? What do your seatmates need to know?
Well, you and I and Councilmember Whedon attended the Black History Museum at New Life Baptist, and it was wonderful. There could have been a little bit more Prince representation in the music parts, and I am going to offer up some of my collection for next year. But it was wonderful, and we got good hugs from Dr. Jackson and got to see a lot of community members there. So it was well attended, and Councilmember Whedon can talk about bringing his family, but it was a nice event. Getting geared up for the next set of meetings. Last intercity transit meeting, we got an update about a pilot project for some ambassadors who have been riding on several routes and how that's going, and that's going really, really well. And I also attended the Citizens Advisory Committee where they got a little update on FIFA, kind of what we heard tonight. Next, I also attended my very first Budget and Finance Committee meeting, and I will be attending my very first Public Works Committee meeting next week. I have intercity transit tomorrow. It will be my final meeting, and we're going to be switching some things around that will all be finalized on Saturday during our retreat. Public health and safety, I'm guessing we're going to be talking about Chief Keyless.
The agenda is posted, body worn cameras.
Body worn cameras. It wasn't.
And the meeting time.
And the meeting time for new membership. And I also have LOT coming up next week. So more to come on that.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Von Holtz. Councilmember Agabi, what is good? What do your seatmates need to know?
My meetings are next week and the week after, so nothing to report.
More to come. Thank you so much, Councilmember Agabi. Councilmember Jefferson, what do your seatmates need to know?
Yes, at the Public Works Committee on Thursday, February 19th, we discussed the service provider agreement with Gray and Osborne for well number 15, aeration and design project. So this is well number 15 is our second biggest well, one of 12. And it was a detailed discussion. We're going to talking about auxiliary power and looking at the pH balance. So I think there was a write-up in the Jolt about that also. We discussed final acceptance of work with A&D Enterprises for the Anson Sewer Project. Also, final acceptance of work with Miles Resources for the Israel Road Pedestrian and Bike Project. And close the meeting with talking about the fiber optic cabling agreement with Washington State Department of Transportation Amendment number 17. This Thursday, 11 o'clock, we're going to discuss reimbursable agreement with Washington State Department of Transportation for the Tumwater Boulevard and I-5 interchange project, acceptance of work with Northwest Cascade for the Linwood Avenue sidewalk, Second Avenue project, and it says committee meeting schedule, but I think we're squared away with the committee meeting schedule, right? So is that correct?
Are you? You'll find out at the meeting.
Okay, we might not be. So more to follow. Okay, so we just got, I also attended EMS council meeting. Meet the operations committee report on 2016 projects, pneumatic wagons and a raffle for unwanted vehicle, a job vacancy for a part-time administrator position in the West region. And the staff reported highlighting our EMT class with 28 students, a training coordinator position. Oh, and an update, no new building is needed because we're going to remain there in the county building. We're going to continue to rent that office space. So that is off the table. I also had a meeting with our city administrator, our communication manager, and Brandon Whedon. Why? Looking at, I always have ideas, but Tumwater been firing off all types of emails. I wanted to discuss Tumwater's business outreach and marketing and promotion ideas. One was, let's host a business roundtable. This all came about because I was with the mayor at a business event where I met Brandon, and we just wanted to talk about, how can we help our business owners? How can we be more user-friendly? And one of the things that came out of it was have a business roundtable, with the mayor. Listen to what our business owners have to say. They might have ideas on how we can meet them where they are. Maybe an e-blast. Create a user-friendly business website. How can we open more new businesses? I'm talking small, micro business, home-based businesses. So just have a place on the website. This way people can know what they need. You need a permit, you need a small business license, you need a state license, EIN, etc. Also talked about using Tumwater's history as a guide to the future. What do I mean? Let's leverage and highlight the Deschutes River and brewery history, because that's what Tumwater is. That's what people want to see. They want to see Brewery Falls when they come to Tumwater. We should also create a Tumwater-specific Heritage Founders Tour, more detailed than the George W. Bush Experience Olympia and Beyond that I had proposed and was accepted on their website. But I would like it to be more specific to Tumwater. This way, when people come to Tumwater, they can say, you know what, this is an exciting city. This is what I want to see. So envision walking, biking, driving tours of Tumwater historic and modern sites for residents, elementary and high school students, as well as for nearby JBLM soldiers, airmen learning about our community. We also talked about creating a passport program for the tour. Now, what does a passport program looks like? And it was like what we were briefed on today. It's online and it's digital. And cities use it to support small businesses, increase foot traffic, promote tourism, get residents to discover places they've never been, highlight our unique history, culture, and neighborhoods. So again, it's going to be incentives. We talked about it. We talked about specifically an app for it. And also, we can obtain funding for it. So we're going to talk more about that. I think I've said enough, and thank you, Mayor.
So that's all really good, Councilmember Jefferson. I dig it, and more to come. Councilmember Whitting, you have to go after Angela. So there you go.
I'll make it short and sweet. I did not have any community assignments this week. I have them coming up. What's good? I did attend the Black History Museum along with Mayor Dahlhoff and Pro Tem Von Holtz. I was able to bring my wife and my youngest kiddo with us. It was a great museum setup. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a big learning lesson. I was able to talk to a lot of individuals that were there as well. It was just great to go ahead and see the impacts that everybody from the Black community has made to our society. Fast pitch season is officially here, with it being Women's History Month. It's definitely fast pitch season, not baseball season. So we have that coming up. Tumwater Baseball, their practices officially start, I believe, the week of March 16th. And I am fostering 4 kittens with JazzCom. So if anybody would like a kitten, it will be up for adoption here
This
soon.
meeting has been full of amazing tidbits. If you don't go away with a cat or learning about our council members, I don't know what's wrong with you. I love it. Yeah, passport program, JazzCom. You go get a cat, a pet.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
that. Anything? I gotta end this meeting. Any other business? Not seeing none. Councilmember Sullivan, I was joking.
I would like photos of the kittens,
Oh,
please.
you know what? That's valid. Valid. Can we have photos next time and we incorporate them into the
Yes, we'll go ahead and do a
presentations?
presentation.
Thank you so much. Melody, take note. Cat insertion. Okay. Thank you so much. Meeting adjourned 8:37.